Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Kenyon Jones, and I am the co-founder of the Exodus 100. Today, I want to talk about transition. Um, Transition is something that is a necessary part of life. If we're not transitioning from one place to the next, then we're not really doing anything. Whether that transition is positive or negative, transition is an everyday part of life. Fortunately for me, um, I've been tremendously blessed to make some positive transitions in my life, and today is no different. I transitioned from employee, an associate chaplain, to um, co-founder and president of a nonprofit organization that is near and dear to my heart. And today marks a day of celebration on so many levels because I remember when this was just a dream, literally. And I'm reminded about, something that my mentors always say to me. And I'm paraphrasing because this is how I put together what they said. And basically what they said is dreams will always remain dreams until you wake up. And once you wake up, they become goals. So now I'm sitting here in my goal. It's no longer a dream. It's real, and it's here. So I've been at a loss for words, and I'm not usually at a loss for words. But you know, um, one of the things that I subscribe to and understand is that in order to do anything worthwhile, there has to be a level of audacity. There has to be a level of tenacity. Um, there has to be some feeling of is this or nothing. But more important than all of that, faith has to kick in. And Scripture so often talks about, how it's impossible to please God without faith. And I would take it even, a step further and say that we will never be able to do anything unless we exercise faith. Unless we take that step when there's no step there, in anticipation that when we step, somehow, some way through everything that goes on, when we step, that step that's not there when we take the step will be there. And as we take the next step and that step isn't there, that step will be there. And then the next thing you know, you got a whole staircase. And the next thing you know, you got a whole house. And the next thing you know, you got a block of houses. Then the next thing you know, there's a community. Then the next thing you know, there's a city. Then there's a state. There's a region. There's a country. There's a continent. So these things happen because men and women and children are exercising faith. The only way anything can be built is if there's a prototype, if there's a blueprint, if there's something drawn up on how it will look when it gets here. That's the only way it'll ever be built. So this is a day of celebration for me. This is a day that I will mark down in my heart as a sense of accomplishment. By no means am I going to pop bottles like we won the championship, because we didn't win the championship. But this is the first step of a very long journey, and it's worthy to celebrate. So as you transition in your life, what are some things that you have to celebrate? What are some things that you have to acknowledge as winning plays? What are some things that you have to acknowledge as things that you check off on your list? Because at the end of the day, if we're not accomplishing those things that we set out to do, then what are we really doing? At the end of the day, what are we really doing if we're not accomplishing the goals that we set out for ourselves? So As we close, I just want to say thank you to all of you. Everybody that supports me personally, as a man, everybody that supports everything that I've done, any ideas, that I have come up with that have turned into things, I thank you, because without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I don't say that superficially. I say that to be honest and to be true. You guys inspire me to continue to keep moving forward. And it's truly been an amazing journey thus far. And from what I'm told, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. So I like to close by saying transitions. What type of transitions are you making? And are those transitions worthwhile? Or are they transitions that keep leading you back down to a path and to a cycle that you can't get out of? Transitions. So I want to say thank you for watching, and God bless.